Welcome back to this pre-market analysis of Nifty, where on a chart we try to make informed guesses of where buyers and sellers are. So these are the lines we drew on last day on our last pre-market analysis. As you can see, um, okay, so there were like two fair value gaps created. So initially, day before yesterday, it took support on the first fair value gap, and then yesterday it took support on the new fair value gap, the top of the new fair value gap. So let's, as usual, delete all the lines and boxes and start afresh. Starting with the monthly time frame. On a monthly time frame, Nifty is still bullish. Why is it bullish? Because this base created by buyers has not been invalidated till now. And this base is higher than the previous base, of course. And what are the important levels? Big sellers in previous all-time high. Let's mark it in red with a thicker line. And big buyers, previous swing low that was created in August. So these are the only two important lines that we need to look at right now. Moving over to the weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, the bias is not sure. This high has not been invalidated till now, so it looks like it's right now it looks like it's creating a lower high, which is a bearish signal, but we do not know. Let's see. We'll wait for the next week's candle to close before we can form a bias. Important level. This was the important level that we need to look at. This candle was an order block that led to this rally, and that was reasonably supported by during this downfall. Right now, is there anything else we need to look at? Yes, this one candle is an interesting candle. If I will just draw a line at the midpoint of the body of this, almost. Was there a close above it? Yes, there was a close above it. Let me just reduce the thickness of this line. And zoom out. Yes, there was a close above this line. So that means that line has been almost invalidated. It's a very tricky situation. But it did close above it. So I'll perhaps just delete this line and say it's not significant anymore because that was invalidated. Going over to the daily time frame. I'm sorry, I'm traveling and the internet is not too good. Okay, here's where all the fair value gaps come in. So this was the first. Was this the first fair value gap? I'll just delete this, draw it once again. 1, 2, and 3. So the first fair value gap should have been this one. Okay, this is the only fair value gap that matters right now. So let's just stick to this. So this is a fair value gap, and then the last day candle actually perfectly took support at this fair value gap. Now I do not know if this is going to go up or down, but then The only thing is it is eating up the liquidity in this area. So if there's a fair value gap and a swing high into this fair value gap, it's a huge liquidity area. So let's just draw this as a support line. I'll draw it as a thinner line. So this is the area Nifty should ideally take support at, and it's almost there, didn't touch there, but the thing is these areas are huge liquidity areas, so it's eating up the liquidity in this area. And once that liquidity is all taken up, then we know who holds the roost here, the buyers or the sellers. Here we have a flat top. Let me just mark that flat top. Flat tops are big sellers. Mark it in red. And then there's another flat top here. Well, I'll just let that go. Right now, just let's stick to this. We sort of have a tight range here for Nifty right now on a daily time frame. And what's the bias? The bias is bullish. Bias was bullish, I would say, because you see this was swing low and this was a swing low here again, but that is taken out right now. So it is there a lower high created? No, higher low has been invalidated, so I would say not sure. Coming to the 4-hour time frame, on a 4-hour time frame, previously it was bullish because higher lows were created, that's why it was bullish. But right now, what do you see? This low has been invalidated. So this was a high, this was another high, and therefore it has become bearish. Oh, so it is bearish. Sorry, I assumed it was bullish. It was bearish. It is still bearish. Going over to the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame was previously bearish. This was a swing high. This was a lower swing high, bearish, but that swing high is invalidated now. Now what? Now you see this is a swing low, this is a higher swing low, so that makes it bullish. So let's change it to bullish. Perfect example of a confused market, a market that doesn't want to go anywhere, and then buyers and sellers not showing any intent of taking it anywhere. So until and unless the buyers and sellers show some intent of taking it anywhere, I wouldn't I wouldn't take a trade myself. I'm no one to advise anyone, so but I wouldn't be in a trade myself. I just wait and see where the big players take it, and then I ride along. That's it. That's all for today. Once again, I'm not a certified analyst. Everything I show and say here is just for educational purpose. Thank you.